Hello, solopreneurs. Today, I have a confession to make. I really messed up, and I only learned about it today. So you get all the feels of what's going on with me today. You see, I forgot two of the most important words that you will ever use in your business, and I'm feeling kind of bad about it. So stay tuned. I'm going to tell you all about it and give you some tips so you don't make the same mistake. Welcome today to the Solopreneur Life Podcast. I'm your host, Kathryn Aragon. At Solopreneur Life, we are all about building and scaling your business using the ARC method, about achieving your vision of success so you can enjoy the freedom and flexibility that comes with running your own business. I hope you'll join us every week as we dive into the ups and downs of going solo. Today, we're talking about two words you probably aren't using enough. But before we dive in, take a minute to subscribe to the Solopreneur Life Podcast so you don't miss a single episode. So, the reality is, I messed up. This is essentially, I have a story that I tell of like 3 different launches, and this is the story of my third launch, which happened a little over a year ago. I had gone ahead and put my agency on the side because I got a job offer that it was interesting and I wanted to step into that. Sometimes the growth that we experience as a solopreneur doesn't happen in our business. It happens in these adjacent activities and things that we do. And that's what that job was for me. But last summer, middle of the pandemic of all things, I decided that I wanted to step down from that job and revitalize my agency. It had not gone to sleep entirely. I had kept some clients on the side, but I wanted to make it my main thing again. Well, of course, the first thing you do with something like that, it's a very quick decision. You want to get things moving quickly. What do? You reach out to key people in your community, in your network. And I did. I reached out to a handful of people, actually, just putting the word out, hey, I'm starting up my agency again. Let me know if you know of anything. Well, for most people, they wanted a chat, mostly because they wanted the lowdown on what was going on, but it didn't turn into anything. There's one person who just totally stepped into this. I asked for help, and he has been there ever since. Robert has been introducing me to people literally for the last year. My first client I got within the first week, largely because of an introduction he made. I have 2 brand new clients, one of them in a role that I'm really excited about, that I've been trying to step into, and it took this introduction for me to be able to break through. I'm actually starting or considering starting a new line of business, all because of an introduction that was made that we haven't nailed down that project yet, but I'm learning even as I work it out. And so looking back over this last year, every now and then I just stop and I think, oh my goodness, look at what has happened over this last year. I've got so many great clients, and the growth was just meteoric. I could not have done this launch so successfully if I didn't have these people in my network. In particular, someone like Robert, who chose to, he stepped into a mentorship role and even into a sponsorship role. Not only did he introduce me to a lot of my current clients, he also just tagged me and shared ideas with me and asked questions that challenged me and forced me to think a little bit deeper about what I was doing. Needless to say, he was instrumental in a lot of what I've achieved over the last year. But then I saw a post in Facebook, and it was one of those moments where you just kind of slap your head and think, oh no, what did I do? It's a very simple post. He shared an image of someone who had said thank you to him. Thank you for an introduction. And then he said, I was just telling my wife about someone who I've referred a ton of business to, and I've never gotten a thank you. And I realized that as much as I have been grateful, as much as I have been saying how much I appreciate him to my family, to friends, and even just under my breath to myself every time I think about my business, I realized I hadn't said thank you, those two very important words, to him personally. Now, was he talking about me in that post? I don't know. It's possible that it was. It's possible it's someone else. But it reminded me that so many times we get our heads down. We are focused on taking care of our clients, on building our business, on developing strategies. I've been developing Solopreneur Life on the side, doing so many things. I get so busy, I forget these very important things, like just interacting with the people in my network and saying something simple like, thank you. Now, this has been a tough year. It's like I have excuses, and I could call on them right now. I mean, we got frozen in for a week in February. I had one of my major clients cut way back. The pandemic was hitting them hard, and I was able to keep them. But, I had in the spring a little bit of a struggle. Ooh, how am I going to replace that income? I put on a virtual event, a summit to launch Solopreneur Life in April. Then we were looking at moving, so we were visiting, taking cross-country tours, and in the middle of the move, my father died. We talked about that a few weeks ago. There's been plenty going on, but is it any excuse, really, to not slow down enough to express gratitude to the people who are instrumental in our success? Especially when that someone has stepped into the role of sponsor and mentor. So let's now talk about this. Your business is essentially a social experiment. Think about that for a minute. No one grows a business alone. No one. My first launch, that's the whole story. I was completely alone. I had no one recommending me. No one knew who I was. I had no authority, no connections. And that was a belly flop of a launch. My second launch, I had skills, I had a portfolio, but I still didn't have connections. I was able to launch. I was able to build my business and grow my business, but it took so much more work. This third launch was the success it was because I had people in my corner recommending me, spreading the word that I was available, doing a lot of the heavy lifting for me so I could focus on taking care of my clients. Now, I'm going to be honest. For me personally, the biggest thank you that I could give was to take such good care of these recommended clients that Robert would look good. I always wanted to make sure that anybody who recommends me, that everyone's like, yeah, he knows the right people. Now, that's not the same thing as saying thank you, is it? It's not the same thing as taking care of your network. The truth is we need one another. We need that spark that happens when we share our ideas, when somebody asks us a question or challenges us. We also need that spark that happens when we help someone else. I've actually kind of been paying it forward myself. I've received so much help and it's made such a difference. That's one of the reasons I launched Solopreneur Life. I wanted to pass that along. It made such a difference for me. I wanted to be able to help other people in a similar way, making sure that they were equipped to be able to succeed, to get their clients quickly, and learn these hard lessons more quickly than I sometimes have. But we tend to focus on our product. We need skills, we need to research, we need to do development, we need, R&D. We tend to get caught up in growing our own skills. We tend to focus on growing our business skills, growth, marketing, sales. It's very obvious when we're flopping in those areas. And we know, I need to read this book or take this course or get coaching from somebody to help me in these areas where I'm weak. We forget how important our people skills are. And that's what I want to remind you of today. It's as simple as saying please. It's as simple as saying thank you. It's as simple as saying, I'm sorry, or can I help you? How can I help you? Also, if we are going to go all in on our business, we really do need to go all in. The thing of it is, and I learned this actually only a few years ago, that ironically, this big gap in my knowledge, I guess, so many of the people who are succeeding really young, we look at them and it looks like juju, like what have they got that I don't have? I'm going to tell you right now what they have. They have a mentor. They have a sponsor. They have an advocate. They have people in their corner who are guiding them, answering their questions, helping them, making recommendations. That's what we all need if we're going to succeed. And as solopreneurs, this is no less important. Those people, many times, is kind of built into a corporate environment, to have a mentor, to assign a sponsor to somebody who kind of walks them through the ropes. But we as solopreneurs forget that we rise and we fall together. None of us can succeed if we don't all succeed. Together, we make better conditions for all of us. Think about this for a minute. If you've been a new solopreneur, you know the race to the bottom when it comes to price. That's something we've all done, competing on price, because we're brand new, we don't know anybody, we don't have a portfolio. So what do? Well, I can give you that article for 1 cent a word, for whatever. We're just racing to the bottom. No, I can beat that low offer you just got, and I can do it better. But what are we doing? The minute we do that, we lower the bar for everyone. Can anybody get paid $500 for a project if somebody else will do the project for 50 cents? Think about that. Together, we raise the bar for all of us. But what that means is we need to be mentoring one another. We need to be sponsoring one another. We need to be an advocate for one another and support one another as we travel this road. Because the truth is, most of us, when we start as a solopreneur, we're not business people. We don't have a ton of experience in entrepreneurship. We might not have a business degree. We many times don't know what we're doing. We have a skill that we know is sellable. And then we make it our aim to go get clients. Here's the deal. Getting clients is just part of it. You need to be building a business. And that takes more than just piecemealing your clients. Part of it is getting advocates, people like Robert, who are behind you, who are in your corner, who will pass along the word when they hear of someone who needs whatever you offer. These people are so valuable. They are the secret to your success. But you won't keep them if you don't show gratitude, if you don't say thank you, if you don't reciprocate, and make sure that if there's something you can do for them, that you do it. This is really hard, and I know this because look at my year, right? I was focused so much this past year on just getting my business off the ground again and surviving a couple of pretty challenging hardships over the last 6 months. As a result, I neglected my network, and that's a big no-no. Anytime you've got people in your network, there's this PR work that needs to be going on, and it is part of your business. So while you're taking care of your clients, you need to also be taking care of your network. We do that so naturally through social media, but think about why you're using social media. If you're like most solopreneurs, you are probably using social media to get more clients, not to take care of your network. You need to do both. You need to be there for the people who are there for you. You need to reciprocate. You need to show gratitude and appreciation. You need to help other people and be the mentor who's helping people coming along behind you. All of these things are important because together we sink or we swim. It's all of us together. I forgot to say thank you, but I didn't fail to feel it. At least that's to my credit, right? I have been muttering under my breath this deep thank you all year long. I just can't believe many times when I look at the growth I've seen, how it all came together so well. And it was largely because of recommendations from people like Robert. He's not the only one who's recommended me. And every time, it's been such a wonderful experience, even if I didn't get the gig. Because I met new people, I've expanded my network. But there are no words to express how much I have appreciated that investment in me by key people in my network. And that includes everyone who's done that. We like to think that we are self-made, but we're not. We owe a debt of gratitude to so many people. So here's my challenge to you today. I want you to listen to my confession and my story, and I want you to learn from it. Yes, you are in the business of finding clients and selling your services. Yes, you need to take care of that. But you know what? That's not all there is to running a business. You need to build a network of people who are there for you and who you are there for, because that's what it's all about. So I want you to take a moment today to go reach out to the people who have invested in you and let them know how much you appreciate them. I also want you to pay it forward. I want you to, anytime someone reaches out to you needing a mentor or a coach or a sponsor, or you just see the need, be there for them. Pay it forward in a way that multiplies the good stuff that's going around. Let's multiply the good, the positive. That's what we need. And then when somebody comes to you for a job that you're not the best fit, why don't we recommend people in our community who we know would be a better fit? Let's give others a leg up. The Solopreneur Life absolutely is the best there is, because we make it that way. Together, all of us. We do that with kindness, gratitude, and generosity. So let's do that. Let's focus on those as we're building our business. Let's show gratitude. Let's show kindness. Let's be generous. And let's do it together. So what are you doing to grow your business? What are you investing in your own growth? The Hub is our Solopreneur Life group coaching community where you get ongoing training, support, and access to me and other solopreneurs who can mentor and sponsor and advocate for you. All of this is based on this concept that we do need one another. Together we rise, together we fall. And I'm for rising. So visit solopreneurlife.com/joinhub to come and be a part of this fabulous community. You may be solo, but you should never have to go it alone. And don't forget to subscribe to the Solopreneur Life, I have a hard time saying this, Solopreneur Life Podcast, wherever you tune in. Visit us at solopreneurlife.com and join me next week as we dive into another important topic to help you grow your business. Stay awesome.